Trent Alexander-Arnold could very well break Liverpool hearts in the next couple of months.
Trent Alexander-Arnold making that move from Liverpool to Real Madrid. Remember, he's out of contract at the end of the season.
As the headline says, Trent is out of contract in the summer, and with a player like that, talks about a new deal should have been wrapped up way earlier. Except they haven't, and that's because Trent might actually leave the club. It sounds impossible, but the reality says it could very well happen. How the heck has this happened? What was Liverpool thinking?
My understanding is that contract discussions for all three of them were underway in October, early October. What he means to the football club as an academy graduate, he is the biggest asset. He's the highest value of the three of them.
See, Trent is one of three Liverpool players who have contracts that run out in the summer. And unlike the other two, his case is unique. Now, Liverpool has a long-standing policy about issuing contract renewals to players over 30, especially when they're on bumper wages. And that may be the case with Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah, but with Trent, it's different. He's still only 26. In fact, according to Football Science, Trent is only a few months away from entering the prime of his career at 27, and just imagining him playing in his prime years at a club other than Liverpool seems odd, but that may just be the case in May next year.
Maybe even if you know the full picture, I can understand that Liverpool fans feel this anxiety because all three of them have been really important for us for years and still this year. On the other hand, I would focus on what I see, that these players still bring up the best possible performances. So maybe we are in a good place.
Honestly, it doesn't feel like Arne Slot gets it. It seems like his main concern is with Trent giving him 100% every match day. But the truth is, Trent could only be performing that well just to impress his potential new club in the summer. It probably won't be that big of an issue if it wasn't a key player, but it's Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's one of a kind. His passing is out of this world. He sees things other players don't, moves that might take other pros minutes to find out. Heck, he's even getting praise from England's Golden Seven.
I suppose if there was one player where I look at and I think he's very similar in the way he delivers the ball, he's very similar in the way he crosses the ball or passes, it has to be Trent. In all honesty, I think he's an unbelievable, his vision is unbelievable. He's an exceptional player, but when I look at a player and I think I see myself in the way he puts the ball in what he sees, in the long balls that he plays. He plays balls that some players don't even think about, and that's what I love about him as a player.
I mean, for the David Beckham to come out and say he legit picks a player over De Bruyne and a guy who he sees in himself in Trent, then you know Alexander-Arnold is the real deal. Some pundits even believe he's better than Beckham.
I think he's actually a better passer than Beckham, a better crosser than Beckham, and that's saying something because he's the best that I see in my generation.
Either way, you get the idea by now. Trent is one of the best players of his generation, and at 26, he's already completed club football with Liverpool. In his debut season, he got to the final of the Champions League with the Reds, including scoring the goal that kicked off that incredible Champions League run from the qualifiers. After announcing himself to the world like this, he didn't stop. In 2018-19, the season Liverpool won the Champions League, Trent provided Liverpool's most iconic moment. Everyone remembers the corner taken quickly, and Origi screams shortly after. But people tend to forget it was Trent's quick thinking to take the corner quickly that created the goal. In the following season, he was a key part of the Liverpool team that won the league, and his highlights that year were insane. Dead ball specialist, and not bad at right back too. Trent's trophy cabinet includes the Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Community Shield, Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and for him, it's about continuing to keep the level of success he set from his early years, and maybe that's why the move to this next team seems like the best path to take career-wise. Unless you've chosen to ignore the rumours, you'd probably be able to guess the team after Trent Alexander-Arnold's signature.
Trent Alexander-Arnold, yes, because Real Madrid are among the top clubs monitoring the situation of Trent Alexander-Arnold.
You know it's getting serious when Fabrizio Romano posts about it. Notice how Fabrizio also says that there are other top clubs interested in Trent's signature.
Alexander-Arnold is really attractive to many clubs because he can play not just as a right back, fantastic in that position, but also on the other side of the pitch as left back sometimes, and obviously in the midfield where he did very well, not just for Liverpool but also for England. So a fantastic player with many possibilities.
And we'd get to which other possible destinations he could be off to if the deal with Los Blancos doesn't work out, but for now it's Trent and Real Madrid, and honestly, it all just makes sense. If you're Trent, it's the perfect move. Everyone knows how good Real Madrid is. They're the best team in European football football history, the reigning Champions League winners. See guys, what makes Real Madrid such a successful team is how they approach the transfer market and their transfer targets. Once they identify a player, especially a top target, they go all out in making sure they pull off the deal. No one rejects Real Madrid, it's that simple. Kylian Mbappe almost spoiled the clean transfer record they had after refusing to join the team on multiple occasions years back. But where's he now?
Really good defended by Kylian to get across.
It's just what they do. Identify top targets and make sure they seal the deal. With Trent, the deal adds up. Dani Carvajal has been Real Madrid's first choice right back for years. Real Madrid has been proactive enough to realize getting a future solution wouldn't be a bad idea. Real Madrid doesn't just go for any kind of player. There's a certain class, a pedigree they need to have. It's the idea the club has been working with for years, signing the best players in the world to play for one team and calling them the Galacticos. Looking at this current Real Madrid team now, they're almost complete. The attack looks insane. Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, and future talent like Endrick. Not much is missing. That midfield should be a cheat code. Luka Modric, Aurelien Tchouameni, Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Arda Güler, Federico Valverde. However, it's in defense, Madrid seems to have a few issues easy to point out. The defense doesn't look as strong as it used to anymore, and this didn't help. Unfortunately, that injury was an anterior cruciate ligament tear for Dani Carvajal. And what it means is that after his surgery, he's out of competitive football until late 2025. Now, Real Madrid's manager Carlo Ancelotti has come out to state that he trusts his team and to find temporary available solutions to the issue. Ancelotti knows it has to be concrete. Looking at the market in that position, it doesn't get any better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. In terms of current active players, the only player who could come in ahead of Trent in the discussion for the best right-back in the world would have been Dani Carvajal. And he's the guy Madrid is trying to replace with Trent. If Trent does leave, he won't be the first English superstar to cross that path. And I'll get to the current one and former legend who joined Real Madrid and succeeded in the past. But first, see that subscribe button to Football Historia down below? Click it so you never miss any of the latest updates on the channel. Yep, right back to Trent. And he won't be the first English megastar at the Bernabeu if he does make the move. In fact, he won't be the only Englishman at the club when he arrives. Jude Bellingham needs no introduction. From the Instagram posts and social media, it seems that Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jude are pretty close. From combined celebrations to commenting on each other's posts, the two seem to share a special bond. And I'd bet the subject of Real Madrid and a possible transfer must have come up recently. It's crazy to think how it could have been the other way around a few years back. Just before Bellingham made the move to Real Madrid, it was Trent at Liverpool trying to convince Jude to join them from Dortmund. 2 years later, and in that same period, Bellingham has the same amount of Champions League trophies and league titles Trent has in his 7 years playing for Liverpool. Ouch. It seems that Trent has seen the light now, but just agreeing to a deal to join Real Madrid won't be easy, because apart from being a key player for this Liverpool team, Trent also has added responsibility he has to deal with. At the start of the 2023-24 season, he was announced as the vice-captain of the club at 25.
No, it was a lovely surprise, to be honest. It was not one that I was expecting in that moment. I thought we would have a conversation around that sort of thing at some point, but not in that moment. So it was special. It's a moment I'll remember.
This is a massive achievement. In his new role, Trent knows it's added pressure. He's no longer playing for himself or for his future now. He's representing the club and is a source of inspiration for millions of Liverpool fans and supporters worldwide. The local Scouse kid from the academy who beat the odds to become vice-captain. With Virgil van Dijk's contract also up for discussion, there's also a possibility he too might leave the club in the summer. And Trent knows that if he renews, then there's a huge possibility that he could become the next Liverpool captain in the following season. All of this added up creates a huge problem for Trent. He's a fan favourite too. They love him. And to be fair, it's hard to hate the guy. He's unique. Still, if Trent decides to follow the other path and join Madrid, then he could very well become the hybrid version of what David Beckham was to the Bernabeu over 20 years ago. With incredible passing range and technical ball skills, to an already stacked team, Trent would almost become an NFL quarterback, spraying passes across the field at will. Going even further, he won't be the first Liverpool player to make the switch directly to Real Madrid. Bayer Leverkusen's record-breaking coach, Xabi Alonso, made himself a household name in European football at Liverpool, and after a couple of years, Real Madrid cobbed him in that star star-studded summer window of 2009. In fact, it's generally believed that Real Madrid and Liverpool have a healthy relationship when it comes to transfers. We've seen Jerzy Dudek, the goalkeeper from that famous night in Istanbul in 2005, also make the switch from Liverpool to Madrid. Steve McManaman too. They'll attempt to keep their relationship proper, and because of that, are going after Trent's signature without trying to cause any issues. This deal could be a record breaker for Real Madrid, a team full of superstars. And not just superstars, but players who've also got age on their side, in key positions too. All of this just makes for a team that would be virtually impossible to beat. But for all it's worth, Trent might end up at an entirely different club next summer as well. Barcelona. Yep, the Catalan Giants are also being linked to Trent for a possible transfer in the summer. And while this one remains mainly a rumour for now, you wouldn't rule this one out, especially when you realise Trent is a big fan of the club.
But I'd say favourite of the team would be Barca. I feel as though they've got kind of the same values and beliefs as Liverpool, like to bring players through the academy. I grew up watching Messi and that special Barcelona team, Iniesta, Xavi, Henry, that's all.
If he didn't support Liverpool, he'd be a Barcelona fan. That's huge. Seeing Trent in Barcelona colours wouldn't be such a bad thing, but the reality is this one might be impossible to pull off, and unlike Real Madrid, Barcelona has a solid option at right back in Jules Koundé. He recently just hit 100 appearances for Barca and is a solid starter under new coach Hansi Flick. Plus, I'm not so sure Barcelona fans have forgiven him for the corner taken quickly memes. But anyway, Trent to Barca might be one to keep an eye out for, just like a potential move to the other club, Bayern Munich. Now with these guys, it's largely just a rumour, and largely unlikely as well. But for a player with just 6 months left on his contract in January, anything is possible. A move to Bayern will also see Trent reunite with his England captain Harry Kane. Bayern adding another English star to their team might just be the missing piece needed to dominate European football. From all we've said so far, the idea is simple. Trent Alexander-Arnold has a big couple of months ahead of him. For now though, he's not letting any of the contract talk affect his game. He scored this beauty for England on national duty, and for Liverpool, he's been just as impressive. At 26, Trent knows the next decision he makes will have a big impact on his career. He could be entering his prime years, either as the vice-captain and future captain of Liverpool, just like his idol Steven Gerrard was all those years back, or he could become the next Galactico and do what very few footballers have done all their careers, get the opportunity to play for Real Madrid. The price tag won't be an issue. Just like his parent club Liverpool, Real Madrid also values Trent very highly, and if they both decide to make a move in the January transfer window, it might just be a compensation to the club. According to data from Transfer Market, Trent Alexander-Arnold is currently valued at $70 million, but it won't make any sense for Real Madrid to pay that amount to Liverpool, knowing they can just wait for his contract to expire in the summer and pull an Mbappe on him. It's not just Trent on the verge of leaving. The captain could also be gone by the summer as well. Yep, Virgil van Dijk. With him, you just feel Liverpool had got this one all wrong. And that's why I decided to make a video on how Liverpool would be making the biggest mistake of their life by allowing Van Dijk to leave for free or signing a pre-contract with a secret team in January. So click the video to find out.